Editor Chris here. I want to make an official announcement on the podcast because we haven't really done our due diligence to set up social media. And we've been talking both on the podcast and off on how exactly we're going to do that. And I think moving forward, we're going to really start trying to build up our social media presence. Now, we're both full-time workers. Hewitt's a teacher, so he works more than full-time. We mostly do this podcast as just a way to hang out and talk about weird stuff that piques our interest, but we've seen a boost in our analytics recently, so we want to be able to reach out to y'all, the listener, and also have an avenue for y'all to speak to us and give us feedback on what we're doing. So as of right now, I have created a Patreon. Now, this is not a Patreon for like monetary reasons. This is only for gauging how many people exactly listen to the podcast. And I have a forum on there, or I have a chat on there for people to put feedback for what we could do better, what people would like to see out of the podcast. Anyone who's been listening for a while, we encourage you to go and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Backwoods Obscura. And also go to the YouTube and follow us on there, like the videos, and just interact with us on there because we're going to be trying to watch this social media even more. Last thing I want to talk about is I'm going to be going through the older episodes. Well, I'm going to be starting with the newest episodes technically, but I'm going to go through older episodes and try to correct some of the audio levels and other things like that to bring a more consistent experience to the podcast. Might take a minute to do that, but I really want to hone in on trying to make the podcast as good as possible. With that, please follow us on all the social medias that we're on. I believe we're on Facebook, Blue Sky, and once again our Patreon and YouTube. We're going to try to be checking that and being more active in that going forward. I hope to see y'all around. With that, I hope you enjoy the episode.
Welcome y'all to Backwoods Obscura, a podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris. How you doing, man?
You know what? I'm actually pretty good. I'm pretty good. It's first week back from spring break, 1 week away from Paracon, and yes, I can officially go.
Yay!
Yay.
We're going to... I mean, I'm pretty sure no one from Paracon listens to us.
No, but I wish we had business cards.
Just print out some business cards and just leave.
You know what? Let's get some card stock. My printer doesn't work though.
Fuck. Maybe I could print it out at work.
No, yeah. Let's look at getting some card stock and maybe, you can totally trust this QR code from two weird strangers.
It's like, here you go.
At the paranormal convention.
Hello.
Here's a business card. My name is Indrid.
Hello, my name is Indrid. I am the smiling man. How about you take a picture of this QR code? You'll have yourself a good time.
Why am I at meatspin.com?
It's like,
Because I am German. He runs away. And it's actually just like a sausage spinning in a pan instead of what the original terrible site was.
It's just an animation of a sausage going into the pan and being like, oh,
yeah, but actually, while we're talking about this, and before I forget, because I definitely will, to get some free stuff on Temu, including a new tent, I had to place a couple orders to get said free stuff. So you got gifts.
Oh no, more gifts?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's your first gift.
Oh my goodness. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, they said it was a full-size blanket.
I like how it's very stretched out.
I also love that it's like you could sit in the chair and like your feet, like it's a lap blanket.
Okay, so for everyone wondering, it is a Delicious in Dungeon blanket where Laios seems to be drawn in a different style from everyone else. I mean, he kind of...
You know what? He's at a weird angle. I feel that they clipped him from a different scene and put him in. But also got you this, and it is true to size.
Yes, okay.
It is a Senshi, let him cook. The other one I almost bought you was him having like the crack reaction to bread.
Let's see.
It's a 3X. So
yeah, that's probably good if it's coming from Temu.
All right. So then there's these.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, they're little shrimpies.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. How much did you order?
Because I ordered a tent, I had to spend like close to $100 total, but like Freya's getting stuff. I've got stuff. Like I have a t-shirt that has Walter Brimley on it and it says, I got the diabetes. Tell the listeners what you got.
It is
because right now it sounds like you just said I like the I got diabetes shirt.
I got diabetes shirt. I love it. No, it's a Sasquatch with the bass, and it says Basquatch, and he's just out there chilling with his boat, just showing the fish. I'm assuming his friend is taking the picture.
It's Mothman. And then this is Temu made a mistake, and I'm not going to wear the shirt, so you can have it.
Oh God. What is Mis Amigos?
Mis Amigos, my friends, and it's all bottles of tequila.
I feel like an alcoholic wearing that one.
No, see, that's your new yard work shirt.
There you go.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So right now there's overalls for my daughter that are apparently possibly lost. A set of new jammies that say "Miss Steal Your Snacks" for my daughter. Some birthday gifts for my son. A 10-inch LED light that goes higher than the looms on any of the lights we already got for TBA. A new stand. A tent. And then a lot of other...
Think of a tent.
It's a 4-person automatic setup tent.
A 4-person automatic setup tent.
It's not a big tent, but if like you and me wanted to go camping and we didn't want to take your whole like suit, like Taj tent minus.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say minus. It's just... It's not as big as the Taj tent, but that's...
But it like, the biggest thing about the tent that me and Ruby have is that it's airy.
Yes, that is. This one also has windows, so it might be a tent that I set up underneath a canopy, which I'm also really debating going to Frecky's camping trip right now. I don't know if I'll have...
funds?
Because we're also going to take my son to Six Flags over Texas for his birthday, first week of June.
Well, get with me on that because
I'll let you know because I also got the camp kitchen and I accidentally one-click ordered something. I was trying to add it to my wish list,
and you one-click,
and I one-click bought it, and it is.
So you got one-clicked.
Yeah, I bought a Dutch oven fire table, which is a 36-inch.
I will say
by
this,
17-inch.
I know, like. When it comes to going to, which is it's on the Homachita River is where we're going.
Yeah.
I will say this: Ruby and I were looking at potentially renting a vehicle to go down there.
Well, if I go, it'll be in the truck because I have the camp kitchen, which.
Oh no, we were getting a truck. We were gonna.
But the thing about the Dutch oven thing is, you said you didn't want to rely on fire. The Dutch oven table is like a 3-foot tall metal tray that you put charcoal into, so then you can cook on it with
charcoal. Okay.
With cast iron. So that would be like, I was like, oh yeah, Chris and I talked about this last year, and I've had one in Amazon. Oh, let me see if Timo had. I accidentally bought something for $70.
Oh my god!
Most of them are 150 because it's. I'm hoping it is not super shit. Like you hear it melted.
It's actually like half the size it's supposed to be.
No, I could actually get my money back without returning it if it's not the dimensions that they say it is.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't order from Temu. I know that, like, honestly, like, at this point, everything's problematic. I don't know.
Well, the thing is that a lot of the stuff I've gotten on Temu is the same stuff you get on Amazon. The only thing that'll be different, and I'll be honest with you, they're made in the same facility. Your shirts versus the version that would be on Amazon.
Probably a little bit.
The iron on would be a screen print, not an iron on.
Yeah.
Like, and the shirts that I got from them are going to be fine because whenever they deteriorate, they become a work shirt. But I got one that has a girl wrestling an alligator say, do stuff that makes your family worry. And then Walter Brimley saying, I got the diabetes from eating the Sweetums. And it looks like a little Debbie package with Walter Brimley on it. Highly distressed. I also got a t-shirt that says, paranormal investigator, I ain't scared of no ghost until something moves in the dark. Because I felt that was 100% appropriate for me.
That's appropriate for both of us.
Also, I got a lot of crab claws coming in for TBA stuff too.
Oh, sweet.
So I have like $150 worth of supplies coming in.
Remind me, like, next week.
Mm-hmm.
Next week isn't Paracon. It's
No, it's next week.
Oh, it's next week? Okay, cool.
It's a week from today. Today is the 5th, so 7 days is 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good because I get paid next week,
mm-hmm.
but I need to send some money. I'm at least going to send you $20 for just for overhead for TBA.
Oh, that's cool. But hey, you want to know something?
Yeah, so we were actually, I forgot we were doing a podcast. What?
Just jam.
Oh, you did AI shit, didn't you? Yeah. Are we talking about the Lutin again?
Yes. In a manner. However, I could also have played this one for you.
Well, you're about to play that one for me. Is it just the metal version?
Yeah. Okay, so here's
you made a metalcore version of...
Yeah. I've been bored this... Yes. This is the original version that I said. Sound like an indie band. Honestly, my favorite version is there's two versions of a juke joint version of this. However, I am going to talk about a cousin of the Lutin.
Of course.
That little son of a bitch. I'm going to talk to you about something I did mention in the Lutin episode. The Nain Rouge.
The Nain Rouge.
The Nain Rouge.
That sounds familiar. And I also know Rouge is like red.
Yep. Nain Rouge means red dwarf. He is a small, often child height figure.
I know. Is this like what like red caps are based on?
Nope.
Okay.
I will eventually get to red caps because I'm also going to... this is my prolonged series over... Like, once a year, I will give you a Lutin alert. He has sharp-pointed teeth that protrude from his mouth in many stories. He's always smiling, and he's supposed to have either a Glasgow smile or just a distended smile. Like, did you ever see the anime Soul Eater?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I remember hating that because it had the guy with the guns that were upside down. And
you hated Death Jr. shooting a gun, stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, God, what's his name? That had Christian Bale do Gun Fu.
Yeah.
What's that director's name?
Equilibrium is the movie.
Yeah, but what's the director? John Woo?
I think it was John Woo. I don't remember.
In any case, it was kind of inspired by that, but no, Soul, the Death Scythe in the series, his internal monologue was a little red imp that played a piano jazz style. So, and he had a grin that went ear to ear. Like he had a distorted smile, which is what the Nain Rouge has. Now, depending on the depiction, he may or may not have a beard or hair. He might be completely shaven. He might be fuzzy.
So he might be a ghast or a ghoul, or he might...
Or he's just a red dude with a beard.
Just a jolly red dwarf.
Not jolly.
He's
nothing about this little boy. Nothing about this boy. Jolly. He has red skin, or in some versions, just a red face. He has bright eyes, sometimes yellow, sometimes red, and in one depiction, bright neon green. Which would stand out against, a crimson skin tone.
Yeah. That's like color clashing right there.
Now, sometimes he's described as a red-haired beast, with the face of an old man. So, an orangutan. Which, if all of a sudden I ran into an orangutan in the wood, I'd be like, hey, man, you could literally rip me in half. Are we chilling? It's like, ook. I'd be like, how about I get you to work in a library? Ook. You won't have to pay taxes, my boy. Well, very well then. Now, again, with orangutans, there is a myth that from Southeast Asia that the reason orangutans do not speak, even though they're capable of it, is because if they speak, they know that humans will make them pay taxes.
Hey, you know what?
I fully support this myth. Like, I'll start saying ook and eating bananas if I don't got to pay taxes.
That's actually really clever, because even creatures that are like up to like 6 to 8 years old in terms of like intelligence. I mean, if they can't speak or can't communicate normally, it's like...
Well, my thing is, I'm going to say that the orangutans are actually up to 40 or 60 years in intelligence, because I've seen some of the individuals in our country that age. I would trust an orangutan more than several individuals right now. Hell, I would trust a baboon more than I would trust several individuals right now.
Give us the monkeys with the typewriter, please, and not like whatever
the fuck we have now. Like, you give enough chimpanzees a typewriter and you get Shakespeare. Right now, you gave enough humans typewriters and we got a recession. God damn it. Anyway, he may be naked, maybe clothed. Depends on the details. Which I prefer that he show up in, like, you know what? I'd rather be fully naked or fully clothed and not like one version of the myth where he showed up basically in what would be described as 1600 short pants. Like, all of a sudden he just shows up in hot pants and nothing else, and it was a small hairy man. I'm more comfortable if he was completely naked, or if he showed up in like a Rococo 1600 suit.
Right, yeah.
But like, if he just showed up in like squeaky, tight leather, had to put baby powder on myself pants. Like, no, it was like uncomfortably tight pants was in the myth.
So he has like the David Bowie sort of...
No, he has more of... God. Elon Musk on the yacht vibe going.
I didn't have to be reminded of that.
No, I had to find something that would have been repulsive to both. Like, that's lived in my head rent free because of TikTok today.
I'm just moving because I want to make sure I'm hitting the mic.
Now, recent depictions, like within the last 50 years, he has gained horns. Small little horns on the forehead. Very reminiscent of
the devil.
Yeah, well, not just the devil. Like, because when the devil shows up today, like, he looks like a tiefling with like a decent rack up there, right? Like, nobody wants a devil with a small rack. They want the devil to have a very impressive...
Yeah, what's that movie with, what's his name as the devil? It had Tom Cruise in it. It was one of his earliest movies. Fucking hell. I had never seen it. I've only seen...
Was Tom Cruise supposed to be a lawyer?
No, you're thinking Devil's Advocate, which is
Keanu Reeves, which...
I'm thinking of...
Pacino did a fucking nice job as the devil in that movie.
Yeah, no, that's Al Pacino. I don't think he ever dressed up as, like, a devil, though. He was just, like... You know, he was just Al Pacino playing the devil, but...
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show... Fucking...
Oh, you're talking about Legend.
Legend,
when he... you're talking about Tim Curry as the Darkness.
Yeah.
Satan with like 55 pounds worth of horn. No, not so much like that type, like longhorn horns. Like most of the time I see the tiefling horns now, like the ones that go up and curl back.
Right.
But no, it's like the devil. Or God, what baseball team has the devils as well? Like the cherub with the little tiny horns type shit.
Okay.
Like Looney Tune-esque devil.
So that's what this guy...
The Nain Rouge has like little baby horns. Just little tiny baby horns.
Just little pecks up there.
Little, like Kegmoth's second set of horns next to the ones that he files.
Okay.
Which, if we ever play that game again, I'm going to state that Kegmoth stops filing.
He just...
Yeah, he's going to stop filing, so the one that's on the side will still stay that way, but the main horn will curl back. Think Arashok of Dragon Age 2.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, does not like white people.
I mean, who does?
Specifically, he does not like colonizers. Well, as a white people, I don't hate myself. White people, though, on the other hand, the Cool Whip and mayonnaise is spicy, folks.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to like, or it's hard not to hate colonizers. Let's be real.
Well, to be fair, you and I don't have much room. Okay. My family history was not colonization because part of my family illegally crossed into this country back in the 1940s, and another part of it showed up as part of the Georgia debtor prison, and some of it showed up after the Civil War. So all of my family allowed other people to do the colonization and just moved in. So like that might be worse.
Yeah.
That's worse. That's
yeah. I mean, but that's kind of my family. I'm Scotch-Irish heritage. A lot of them moved in at like the 17 and late 17, early 1800s. And well, you don't have this in your family. My family has like roots in like slavery and Confederacy.
My family was always okay. For anybody out there that is listening, I'm not saying this in a manner to downplay anything. However, I will always throw this out there, and as a teacher who teaches in a primarily African-American school, when they ask me, did your family ever own slaves? My response is, no, they were way too broke. I come from the longest line of sharecroppers, tenant farmers, indentured servants, horse thieves, bank thieves.
You see, I have like two sides of my family. There's the criminal side, which I probably have family somewhere in Mexico or like across the states because
reach out.
Yeah, at this point I'm like, hey, yo, Claudia Scheinbaum's pretty awesome. Can I like we're long lost relatives. Hey,
dude, look, if you're gonna go to Mexico and you're gonna do that, move to a city, because if you're not in the side of the city, I mean, Mexico's kind of okay. I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm not doing this anything. Mexico's just a little fucked right now, and it's been a little fucked for a hot minute. Okay, since like 1820, Mexico's been just a little fucked. Before 1820, when it got its independence, it was a lot of fucked because that's Spain.
But I hear a lot of good things about the current prime minister. Do they have?
She's the president. She is the president.
Okay.
They have a president. They have a Congress. The problem is that the Mexican government does not really control much outside of the big cities, and so I hate to say this because it's going to sound weird. Some of the joint actions that we are now currently engaging with Mexico on against the cartel are actually like the only good thing that's happened since January. And I'm not saying it in a manner to praise anyone. It's more or less like we're going to finally handle on something that needs to be done. The problem is you need to be strategic with a scalpel versus a sledgehammer.
I'm assuming all these towns that
let's just say that we're about to continue talking about the Nain Rouge, a tiny a tiny impish creature.
We were about to go into politics.
Well, I'm not trying to get into politics. Let's get into that because we don't have the time, knowledge, and or want to fully discuss where we're kind of going with that line of thought, other than it might be the only half not terrible thing that is currently happening.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm not holding out any hope.
So let's get into the history of the Nain Rouge. So I described the Nain Rouge. Basically, the easiest way to describe the Nain Rouge is an imp. Small, reddish, possibly demonic figure. However, the Nain Rouge, he's connected to the city of Detroit, which also makes him connected to Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah. In 1701, a red dwarf attacked Detroit's founder, Anton de Montcadillac.
That's a name.
Well, I mean, 1, there's a car named after him. 2, there's a city named after him. 3, he got sent to Louisiana.
Really?
Anton de Cadillac was a friend of LaSalle. who came down here, and Baton Rouge is called Baton Rouge because there's a big, giant painted red pole, and then everything, right? Iberville, Bienville. We're talking early French explorers here. Now, at this point, Detroit was founded by Cadillac, and it would have been part of New France, so Quebec.
So you're saying that, like, there could have been a time at one point that parts of Michigan could have been French influence.
Large parts of Michigan are French influence. There's a reason why there's a Lafayette, Indiana, and Lafayette, Illinois. There's a reason why there are more than one New Orleans in this country. Well, I should say Orleans in other places. So the French settled the Mississippi River Valley. So Pittsburgh, the reason it's called Decatur Stadium is the French name for Pittsburgh was Decatur. I mean, George Washington kind of helped start the French and Indian War and accelerate the 7 Years' War by fighting some guides near there and then eventually getting captured and paroled after Fort Necessity. So what is east of the Appalachian Mountains was, one, native land. Don't let anybody ever argue that. For one, native land. Two, the English and the French both claimed it. So we don't really stop and think about that with the history we're taught. Like, we're from Louisiana. We get some French history, all that type of stuff because, Bienvenue Louisiana and all that type of shit. But really, anything connected to the Mississippi, they're like, why is St. Louis named St. Louis? It's named after St. Louis, a Catholic saint. So, I mean, why is there a place called La Porte? You get what I'm saying? So,
why didn't the food translate up there?
Dude, do not shit too much on food from other places because you have not gotten their actual good food.
That's true.
To be fair.
Also, I do like Detroit-style pizza despite what people say about it.
You can continue to enjoy it. That is your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm actually a big fan of poutine.
Yeah. I mean, I like poutine.
But let's be honest. What kind of happened to the Midwest is a whole lot of English folks showed up there. And food got better when the Polish showed up because the Polish go, you can put butter in shit.
You could just put butter in that. Put butter. You see, the thing that Louisiana and a lot of places in the South had a one-up on is there's a lot of ports in the Gulf.
This is true, but another big thing you got to think about food down here. We're literally willing to eat anything. Like, if Godzilla, like, there's a reason why there will never be a Godzilla film set in New Orleans, because somebody's going to go, hey, one tag, one tail, one tag. And someone's going to yell, put on some rice. The next thing you know, Godzilla's going to look, and it's the whole Cajun Navy coming out. What unifies everybody in Louisiana, left, right, in between, is we're going to have a big-ass boil because Godzilla came out of the Gulf. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
You see that all these kaiju movies, they try and get other kaijus to fight. They get the military. Just send everything down to Louisiana.
Just send a bunch of Cajuns.
Just go down to Acadiana and just find all the Cajuns. It's like, you can cook Mothra.
No. We leave Mothra alone. She's a good girl.
Okay.
She don't fuck with us.
The only problem is Mechagodzilla, because
that's just a microwave.
Yeah.
However, we would repurpose Mechagodzilla to cook King Ghidorah, and then somebody's going to say you can suck the head.
Yeah.
Now back to the point. So, 1701, a red dwarf attacked Detroit founder Anton de Moth Cadillac. He was warned by a fortune teller in Quebec he'd run into an imp and he should respect it if he sees it. Now, when he did, he decided to fuck that and he smacked it with his cane.
So it's like, yeah, I'll respect it with this cane.
So he hits it with a cane and, the imp goes down, but the imp's like, this ain't my first barroom brawl, bitch, and sweeps the leg.
Oh.
And so all of a sudden Cadillac goes down, the imp punches him a couple times, and then he turns around and looks at him, curse this whole fucking city. All this Detroit you founded, let it burn, and then just like disappears into the shadows. And Cadillac's like on the ground with a dislocated knee going, you know what? Should have listened to that Romany lady that somehow made it to Quebec, even though we don't allow them over here. Should have respected. Sure respected the little imp, because very quickly after that, Cadillac was shipped to Louisiana down here, and he saw it as a demotion because Quebec, don't know if you know this, Quebec has castles.
Okay.
New France, or the portion of Canada that still would identify as New France, Quebec, the Quebecois, they've maintained a lot of the structures that were built by the French back in the 1700s. And if you want to see like North American castles, you go to Quebec because they built them.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Yeah, like you stop and think, like, we don't think about anything being thousands of years old or more than like 200 years old in the United States. We got shit that's way older. Also, there's one or two castles up in New England, but they're not really, I wouldn't really call them
damn, those are kind of castle-y.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a
this is why when we invaded in the War of 1812, we did not take that city fully. We burned down a lot of it, but the castle still stood, and we're like, we can't get in there. What do we do? Burn the McDonald's.
Well, that's American territory.
What the fuck's a McDonald's? That pub says McDonald. That's French. I do not read French.
McDonald.
I am a Bostonian. We barely read.
I'm not going there.
However, Boston, I made that statement about you. I still love you. Fight like you've never fought before. Make another tea party if you need to, Boston. You beautiful bastards. However, if I tried to hand you like a 7th grade reading book, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Look, if I tried to give a 4th grade reading book in this state, how many adults would fail?
That's true.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Now, anyway. Creature cursed the city of Detroit. Cadillac got sent to Louisiana, was upset. Now, connected to this, the natives told stories of a small red imp-like figure and had a totem in the area of Detroit. Like, they had it as a protector spirit, basically saying that it was a child of the earth god or the stone god. He was a son of a troll, if you were to take an English version of it. So, anyway, there was a totem near the city of Detroit with a small red impish figure on the top of it, and the French cut it down.
So the French cut down
the totem pole. So let's just put right here, the natives already had a story about a small red man living in this area that protected it because his father was basically the god of dirt.
Okay.
And then Cadillac was told, if you see a little red boy,
just respect it.
Respect him. So a little red boy decided to smack him with a cane.
That sounds French, really.
That sounds upper class. Like, begone, peasant. Anyway, so yeah, he did that and got everything cursed. So at this point, what my logic with some different belief systems is, Cadillac smacked a genus loci, and reap the reward that you do when you decide to when you spit in God's eye.
Yeah, it's not going to be spit coming back.
No. Okay, so in 1763. He was seen dancing among the dead at the Battle of Bloody Run, when Pontiac killed 60 English settlers and soldiers on the edge of the river that runs by Detroit. So Pontiac's rebellion was a native rebellion once after the 7 Years' War / the French and Indian War, the English got all the land of the Mississippi. France, low-key under the table because they were Bourbons and the Spanish king was a Bourbon, handed them Louisiana like, we do not want the English to get New Orleans, motherfucker. And his cousin's like, got you. Which, on a side note, something we both need to look up. Did you know that during the 1700s when Spain controlled Louisiana, a large amount of Filipinos moved to Louisiana?
Really?
Yeah. There's 3 whole cities that don't exist anymore because of a flood on Lake Pontchartrain that were Filipino villages. Or I should say townships. Anyway, that's something we both should look into because that's a bit of obscure knowledge I didn't know.
I bet there's a lot of obscure knowledge that we could...
Also, I really wish the Filipino population had, like, we again, we got to look into it, because I really would love, like, Filipino food to be everywhere in the state, because Filipino food is delicious. By the way, we haven't eaten yet.
We haven't eaten yet, yeah.
So 1633, he was seen dancing.
Say something. Like, imagine if Cajun food had Filipino influences as well.
I think it might.
It might, but goddamn. Just...
Again, we're hungry. We apologize. Now, in 1805, he was seen before the fire that burned down most of the city. Several people reported seeing the Imp of Detroit before a massive fire took the city down. In 1812, it was present when General Hull surrendered Detroit to the British in the War of 1812. People reported seeing him before the British took over the city. Fun fact about General Hull, he is the only U.S. military officer to be executed for military incompetence.
Oh, that's bad luck right there.
Yeah, that's bad luck, but it's also Hull being really bad at his job.
It's so bad, they're like,
We have not executed anyone since this dude for military incompetence, according to all my sources. And we've done some fucking stupid shit a couple times. Like, if you get me on the Civil War, I'll start explaining why several Union generals should have been executed for military incompetence in the first 2 years. We didn't do that. It's just this dude.
It was just so bad with this one man. It's like, you can't live anymore.
Yeah. Now, in 1967, he was seen before the race riots of Detroit. In 1976, he was seen before the massive hail and ice storm that shut down the city and destroyed its power grid. Like, it hailed so much that it blew up transformers. Optimus, Megatron, Starscream, all of them. Actually, no, it just blew up one of the power plants. So much hail.
Oh, damn.
Now, here's the thing. No sources can be found before the 1880s in the city of Detroit about the Nain Rouge. Every story about the Nain Rouge before 1880 was by word of mouth. The written story was in 1880.
Okay, so it was more like folklore.
Right. Now, origins of the Nain Rouge. Most people agree that this is a much more active, on a large scale version of a Lutin. Small, reddish man, maybe has a beard, very much a trickster, very much causes problems. Very vindictive about one particular fucking thing. That's fey as hell.
It's wild because I'm like thinking about it. It's like Lutin, but scaled up.
This is a Lutin that decided to drink a beer and then hand it to somebody and say, "Hold my beer, watch this shit." Like, this is a Lutin that went to Boston for 3 weeks and then went to Detroit. It went up 2 reading levels from Louisiana when it went to Boston and then went to Detroit. But some stories of the Nain Rouge have it braiding horses' manes, pranking settlers, blunting knives, blunting shovels and axes. Like, the Nain Rouge, anywhere near Detroit, is basically, if something went wrong, it's the Nain Rouge.
So it's like the Lutin in that sense.
It's like the Lutin. Like, if all of a sudden, like, you're using your hammer and the handle breaks.
Fucking Nain Rouge.
Fucking Nain Rouge. Now,
your car breaks down. Fucking Nain
natives
Rouge.
also told stories that there was a red imp that was the son of the stone god and guarded the area and did not like intrusion from people outside of the tribe that lived there that had a deal with its dad. Which makes me think that the natives that lived here were badass warlocks.
That sounds fucking badass.
Yeah, that sounds like we need to make, like, I need to get an AI and make a Nain Rouge metal song about warlock powers. Now, some articles refer to it in a derogatory reference. And the thing about the Nain Rouge is, think about it. What does Nain Rouge mean? Little red man. What's a derogatory term for Native Americans?
Oh. Yeah.
So there is a chance a lot of modern studies think that European settlers blaming it on the Nain Rouge, especially the French, who were saying they were blaming it on the red man.
You ever like, you're like, yeah, this is a cool story. This is a cool story, and then your whole perspective
and
shifts.
then Hewitt ruins it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one version of it. And when we get done with the modern references here, like I only got this in references left, and I feel like we can discuss for a second here. Modern references. Detroit Beer Company has a lager named after the Nain Rouge. I feel they missed an option to make an Irish red.
Yeah.
Or just a red ale.
Or just like an amber ale, even. Well, amber ale, red ale.
Yeah, something. Like, I feel like they kind of, but at the same time, it's Michigan. It's a lager. It fits.
It's like, yeah. Well,
you're talking like Coors, Schlitz country up there. You know, they're water +1. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody that doesn't drink like double extra imperial stouts like me. The Nain Rouge Brewery is named after it. So there's also a brewery named after it. There is a winery. There is a Nain Rouge red wine.
Okay.
Devil's Night, Dawn of the Nain Rouge is a 2019 movie based off of him. The only reason I say him is some of the stories do describe that while he was a small in height individual, he might have been a tripod.
Oh.
But that's like I said, like sometimes he shows up naked and then there's just a...
Right. We don't have to get into that.
No, I just hope I hope the sound effect got picked up. I want the Foley work in there for future Chris. Now, there's the Marche de Nain Rouge, which is a parade that happens every year.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a Mardi Gras thing?
The parade is in the spring and is to cast out all the old and the bad holding you back so you can embrace the good in the future. So basically, throw out the bad so it's not holding us down and fuck it, let's go forward, little red man. Put some pants on.
Please, put some pants on. You're making me uncomfortable.
The Dance of the Nain Rouge is a 2003 animated documentary / short film that used AI art to tell the story of the Nain Rouge, as well as use him for some explanations for other stuff that happened in the city. He appears in the Monster Manual of Kobold Press Online, which the Nain Rouge's abilities for Pathfinder 2e, so good.
Really?
So good. You need to go abuse that. It might be 1e.
I mean, at this point, they probably have it in 2e as well.
I mean, it's specifically the Kobold Press for 2e. It's for Pathfinder, not for D&D.
Right.
He is a minor bad guy in the Marvel Comics for the Midwest Avengers. It's more or less a dude in a suit with a fucking devil mask. He also currently has his own website to combat slander made about him, to sell merch and advertise tourism to the city of Detroit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's good. And I love that one because it literally is a dude wearing, like the picture of it is a dude wearing red makeup with horns you get at fucking Spirit Halloween and an impeccable white suit, like no face paint. Like they had to get these pictures right after all the makeup was done and it had just been put on, but no makeup on the collar, nothing on the wrist. Everything, this suit is impeccable and solid white. And I'm sitting there going, that is red ass face paint. And I've worn red face paint and worn a suit before, and it gets everywhere. Like nothing you do.
Unless you get like the type of paint that's like a dye, like,
or you get the one that like has the 2-part, like there's a powder that gets thrown on you after it's dried for just a little bit to help it.
Yeah.
That makes it almost like you can peel it off rather than wash it off. Which, by the way, y'all, don't use too much of that style makeup because it does bond to your pores. So you will need to leave a section of your skin exposed for your skin to actually be able to breathe. Don't James Bond Gold Girl yourself.
Is that actually a thing, or?
If you cover yourself in too much paint and you do not leave skin, like, and this could, you know what? Hey, anybody out there, you can @ me. If you listen to this, send Chris a message and we'll actually, that'd actually be some obscura that we could cover, is that you do have to leave a patch of your skin breathable. That's also why, like, Sam Raimi almost died in.
Well, I think he almost died in
Evil
Dead.
Talking. Well,
it's
that's
not Sam Raimi; it's his brother.
No. Yeah, Sam Raimi's brother that was in the suit.
I forget his name.
Edgar Wright. We'll just call him Edgar. No, but when his brother was in the costume for the old lady that was trapped in the basement, it also had bedding foam.
I think his name is
Todd Raimi. Todd Raimi. You got to leave an area for your skin. Ted Raimi. You have to have an area of your skin actually breathable, or else you can still technically suffocate, because one of the weird things is we humans still technically kind of breathe through our skin.
I think they did a Mythbusters episode about that, but I don't remember what the...
Dude, it's been like 10 plus years. Like, we've lost 2 Mythbusters in the process since then.
Which 2? I know
Grant's gone, and when Carrie was pregnant, the speed racer lady.
Oh yeah,
she died. Also, there's been like a couple of auxiliary folks, like the bomb expert that they always had.
Yeah,
cut the wrong wire.
Well,
okay. I say cut the wrong wire. What I got doing listening to like a fucking YouTube video was he died in a work-related accident. And when you're a bomb diffuser and you die in a work-related accident,
okay,
you can make assumptions.
Right.
So let's do a discussion here about the Nain Rouge. Derogatory depiction of Native Americans or the Lutin's very aggressive cousin?
I mean, I think I could see both ways. And honestly, here's a good way to put it, I think, is that the Nain Rouge probably had a lot of influences from European folklore. However, racism has a way of, like, steeping into shit to make...
It is the bag steeping in the back of the tea that we all exist within.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So there is probably like an element of it that is racist, or that people use it for racism, but I don't think it's necessarily a racist trope in the sense that, at least from what you've said.
I'm with you on this. I don't think the Nain Rouge is direct. Like, there's people who've gone on this, and I went down the trail to look at that. I think it's people kind of reaching. Because the Lutin, which I'm going to say the Nain Rouge is a Lutin. To me, the Nain Rouge is 100% a Lutin.
Right, yeah.
That has been blamed for shit that it didn't actually do. Because I don't think Lutins would burn down the whole city of Detroit. I don't think they have that ability. I got to leave milk out tonight now. I don't need to be proven wrong.
But, I mean, I'm open to the idea of, like, learning more about it and... Like,
my thing is, I'm going to say this much like when we did the Lutin. I'm going to say that the Nain Rouge is real. Mostly because...
It burned down the city of New Orleans?
Detroit?
Detroit. One of those.
No, I'm going to say the Nain Rouge is real for one reason. I fully believe, because we already talked about Tulpas, that when enough people believe in something, it exists. So much like I said, the Lutin is real. If this is Lutin, it's real. That's me. I don't think it is necessarily just a racist depiction of Native Americans. I believe that I believe there's some Cretan in the story, like one, like when we talked about the Buhag, which has not been released as of the time of this recording, that shit gets mixed and things happen. And it becomes real, or it is just a story we pass down for a while.
But yeah. Well, I think there is, like, I think the main thing is, like I said, it's like, maybe the Nain Rouge was, like, it was a thing, it was folklore, and then some racist dipshit decided to appropriate that for his racist bullshit.
Yeah.
Because even in the pictures you talk about, it's like sometimes he's lime green with the red face, right?
Well, no, he's always red, but sometimes he got like neon green eyes.
Okay, yeah.
And that, I'm going to be honest, most of the stories that have been recorded about the Nain Rouge or talked about the Nain Rouge have been post the parade starting, and a lot of the floats make a big red dude and paint the eyes green or yellow because
it could, like, that descriptor of the Nain Rouge might have.
Well, I mean, how many people don't realize Thor is redhead?
I mean, I think that a lot of that is due to like Marvel, but
well, I mean,
yeah,
Thor,
it's like when what was it? God of War Ragnarok came out. They had like the
thick body Thor. Like I'm a big hefty boy.
They're like, why is Thor fat? He's like, well, I mean, he's big, but he's not like that's like a strong man build.
It's a strong man. It's a strong man who drinks a fucking lot. Like this is like an 8 foot tall bro that drinks heavy and fights. Like that's a hefty boy. Now, my sources, I did use Wikipedia to get me some additional links. And it's mostly to get to things like Metro Times, Arts, The Legends of the Nain Rouge, newspaper article. The one that I use the most is Legends of Le Detroit by Marie Hamlin from 1884, which is the original source for the story. It's really fun to have to use your limited knowledge of high school French to translate a book.
That's fun.
Which has started me actually using Duolingo to relearn French, and my son has been learning it with me.
This is not actually a sponsor. It kind of came out like a sponsor.
It did, but hey, Duolingo, if you want to sponsor us.
If you want to sponsor us, hey.
Chris will learn French too.
I'll learn anything. I'll learn
Klingon.
I'll learn Klingon.
I was learning French and I was learning Welsh and High Valerian a couple years ago in it. Let's see. There's also Fripp.com, news, local, Michigan, Detroit, Nain Rouge, or March Nain Rouge, Wall Street Journal, articles on the Nain Rouge, NainRougeBrewery.com, cryptids.fandom.com, Nain Rouge, visit Detroit.com inside the Legend of the Nain Rouge, Wayne.edu, university website, for digital stories, Nain Rouge, MysteriousMichigan.com, the red dwarf that burned the city. That's kind of problematic, but also that sounds kind of like an epic song title.
I mean, Red Dwarf is also... Anyway, is that all your sources?
Nope. I also have the NainRouge.net, home of the Nain Rouge, and CobaltPress.com, Monster the Nain Rouge.
Well, thank you for presenting this, another Lutin alert. I guess that's going to be a thing on the podcast now.
I have 3 versions of the song, so I can at least
I don't know how I feel about using AI, but we
are... No. Is AI problematic? Yes. Are we using this to make money? No. Therefore, it's just fun.
Anyway, we are Backwoods Obscura, where we release every Tuesday. Sometimes we're on social media, but we're also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends that play tabletops, video games, board games, whatever games, and most of the time donate to charity. Right now, we are loosely affiliated through the month of May with the Trevor Project and the NCLU. So if you can donate to them, we would greatly appreciate it. At any time during the year, we'd also appreciate it if you donated to St. Jude's to help combat childhood cancer. We very much would appreciate it. I know money's tight right now, but the only people that are going to make it better are us. So let's all pick up the yoke and move forward with that and try to help people who might need the extra help, because you never know when you're going to be the one that needs it.
And with that, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is over there.
Lutin alert!
Oh, God.
Lutin alert!
Oh, please.